Alright, so this is something that has been asked for a couple of times in different places. How do I do these little graphic plates on my pedal? So this is how the final product will look like. It's just, and it stays on. You don't have to glue it on, anything. It stays on with these in place. So, and it's the same material as the circuit boards. And I do it with the same program, and the program should pop on the screen now. It's Kicad, and it's free. Of course, you can donate, but you can use it for free, and it's absolutely amazing, especially for the price. But yeah, so then I also do the faceplates for my pedals with the same program. So that's one method to, I think, achieve a really professional look for your pedals. And you can order different colors of these, and you can have your own graphics. That's a bit more tedious than doing something which is text, but you can use your own fonts, and as I have with this, I'll show you how this looks like in the program, and I'll just do a little example of how you actually do it in Kicad, and then I'll show you where to get and where you can order your finished faceplate or of course circuit boards from. But yeah, let's get to it. I'll fire up the software and we'll see how I go about it.
All right, so here we are. This is one of the faceplates I've done, and I showed it on the start of the video. This is how it looks like on Kicad. So this is the PCB editor, which we can see on the left top corner here. And I'm gonna just show you an example how it looks like, and then we're gonna start from scratch, and I'm gonna do a really simplified version just to show you how it's done. And in here we can also just check the 3D editor and how it would actually look like as a PCB board. And everything's looking good. That's the finished product. Of course, I ordered black ones, thought they'd look cool. So then, of course, we could just start a new one. Right, so what we want to do here is we want to take some sort of draw tool. So I'm going to do the line. Yes, I want to have the rounded edges. And then we are going to do the edge cut layers. And I'm going to put this, while doing this example, on 1 mil. So let's zoom in a little. And let's just start here and draw something like this up. There we go. Then take here. Then we're gonna zoom a little. Then we're gonna take this little thing. Like that. Another one over here. So you click like that. We're gonna go up. There we go. Then lines between these. And this is how I do it. There could be faster ways, of course, but it's just how I've done it. And as we can see, already hooked up over there. So let's try and move this. All right, and let's get that point over there and this point connected to that one. Right, so now if we would take, we can see that yes, we would have a plate like that. So all we need to do now, and if you need to know the measurements, we got the measure tool here. So of course you make sure that it's fits on your chosen enclosure on top of that. And this probably would be a little too small, as we can see, but as I said, this will just be an example. So And then draw circles. We can do that again at the edge cut layer. So there we go. And now when we look at the 3D viewer, we would have a hole for a potentiometer, foot switch. And we can actually then, I think, just double that. Copy, paste. There we go. So that's a good way to do it. If we have all the size we want already, why try it again? We can just do it like that. All right, and that would be we have right now. So then, of course, start adding the text you want or graphics. You can do both. The graphic thing is it takes a bit more. You have to import stuff here. I actually don't remember how to do it now, but trust me, you can find it. Find instructions for that on the internet. So do that. But let's take the same font as we had here. And I'm gonna also show where you can find some cool fonts to use on your stuff. The site will be shown here right now. And I wanna have the let's try that. Let's name the pedal Uber Screamer. Why not? And let's make it bold, centered. Let's do 12 and 12 and see how it sounds. Okay, so that's how it would be like. Well, we're not really too happy about that size of that, so let's take 2 and 2. All right, so here we go. And now, when we go look at the 3D, we can see that yes, our text would be on silk screen layer. And the other thing is, if we order through JLC, PCB, I think you can just hide their manufacturing code or whatever it is in the settings when you make the order. But if you want, you can have just the basic Kicad font and do this sort of text, and then the code will be placed where that text is. So of course we would put that on the backside silk screen then, and you can change that in here. There we go. So now when we take a look, and you can choose the option to have your order number placed where that text is. So yeah, I still do that myself. Let's make that a little bit bigger on height. There we go, Uber Screamer. Yeah. And then we could just, well, we could actually copy that. And if we want to, and then just do it like this, you know, so we don't have to pick up the font every time. So yeah, there we go. That would be it. It's just want to measure everything carefully, you know, make sure it's all up to scale and use the measuring tool here. I mean, all placements too, just careful measuring. And in the end, it's pretty cheap to order boards. So if you do fuck up, it's not that big of a deal. And then, of course, you would go here and you would make the gerbers. I don't know how to pronounce that. And for that, again, go to the GLC PCB site, or if you order from like PCB Way, go there, check their instructions for the Gerber files. Do it with those instructions and you'll be good. I've already made a video about how to order from JLC. PCB. You can find it on my DIY pedal build stuff playlist, and the process is explained there. So I'm not going to do it on this one. But yeah, this was asked, and you can really get really like creative with this and make some cool looking boards like we saw in the beginning. And the program free, so up your graphics on your self-made pedals. Here we go. That's it. I hope this was informative. If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer. And all right, I'm off.